Hi, Nigel here with the Drivewire, and this is the 2022 Audi S3. And we've had to wait quite a while for this car because there was no 2021 model. So now we have this redesigned Audi S3 for 2022, which has, well, a sharper look, it's got more power, and a reworked cabin. There's more good news too. This is Audi's smallest and least expensive S model that they build, and today I'm going to review this and find out whether it's actually worth it. So the S3 has pretty well proportioned styling. You might even say that it's actually quite a cute little compact sedan. So the new look is somewhat edgier than the old one. It has these sort of boxy, flared fenders that pay homage to the original Audi Quattro rally car. So the S3 comes standard with sport suspension and a 0.6 lower ride height. It also includes the black optic package, which gives you these great looking 19-inch wheels with Bridgestone summer tires. It would be great if it had Michelin Pilot Sports, but it doesn't. These are pretty decent. And then as part of a sport package, which is $1,100, you get these red painted calipers. The discs are 14 inches, cross-drilled and vented, and then they're vented at the rear. And then continuing on at the rear, you get these black exhaust tips. Now these are part of the black optic package, as well as these black piano black mirror housing. And then scattered around the car, you've got more black trim as well. It's all mirror black, it's annoying and it scratches, but hey, that seems to be the trend these days. And it has this widened hexed-shaped grille, obviously the Audi 4 rings, the S3 badging, and lots of bugs here. There's a small sort of splitter in piano black and then two real vents at the side. So as I said, it shares its powertrain, engine, etc. with the Golf R. In this case, the numbers are slightly different. It's still a 2.0 Turbo 4, but it delivers 306 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque. So that's about an increase of 18 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque compared to the outgoing model. So yes, I know that these are slightly lower numbers than its Golf R sister, but they're in the ballpark for what the competition has, and that's Cadillac CT5e, BMW M235i, the CLA AMG Mercedes. They all, however, except for the Cadillac, ride like a Flintstone car, even in the most comfortable setting that they offer. Anyway, this one, expected to knock a couple of tenths off its 0 to 60 time, should be around 4.3, 4.5 seconds to 60, which is still pretty damn quick. All right, in the trunk, you get about 11 cubic feet of space. A little bit of storage under here. They relocated the 12 volt to the back here for, I can only presume, weight distribution. No spare wheel, of course, and then a little thing for your groceries to hold them in place so they don't fly all over the trunk. So in the back, it is definitely snug, but what would you expect in a little compact car? But these definitely are pretty decently usable seats. There's room for three at a pinch. Get a little armrest here with a couple of cup holders. You've got your vents. You've got two fast USBs. It's pretty nice. Headroom's a little tight, but again, I'm not going to complain about it because that's not really what this car is for. And a little thing here to throw your iPad or your laptop or whatever it is in the back as well. A couple of lights up here. So it's snug, but it's decently comfortable. So inside the car is very nice. The only complaint I might have is that the steering wheel appears too big. It's not, but it's just me. Seats are super comfortable. You've got memory on this one because it's a prestige model. Everything electric, lumbar support adjustment back forth. Same on the passenger side, they don't get gypped. Semi-aniline leather, you got a little thing here if you've got extra long legs, if you want additional support. Nice solid footrest, brake and accelerator in the perfect position. It's a nice place to be. Only thing I don't like is it comes with this sunroof. I wouldn't mind it if it didn't have this horrible hairnet-like thing on it which lets the sun through, and obviously the heat, but you can't have everything. So as I said, there's been some design changes inside the cabin. So if you remember, the infotainment screen here was more like a stuck-on sort of laptop, iPad, whatever. It just looked like an afterthought. So they've relocated the vents to here, they're taking a little bit of getting used to. From a useful perspective, they're great because the old ones that were lower down here basically cooled your hands. These, on the other hand, are pretty good for getting your face cool and the rest of you. So they work well. The design elements, though, look a little dated, the way they've got these shaped like this. I don't know. The rest of the car is beautiful. Great design, as is typical. There are some scratchy, hard plastics lower down. But this is sort of an entry-level S car, and it's very well put together. This screen is super easy to use. This is the home screen. You can just swipe through, change all the stuff here. Change various different vehicle settings, etc. This one comes with nav. Below that, you've got, yes, physical buttons for your HVAC. Heated seats on this one, but not cooled seats, which is a shame because it's 92 degrees. Out there right now. I have it set to 70, so it's nice and cool in here right now. These are super quick, super easy to use. And then down here you've got your drive select, so you can choose between comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. It sets up various different pieces like your drive, suspension, steering, engine sound, etc. So starting at the bottom, I have engine sound as present. You can only assume that that is another word for obnoxious, without being obnoxious. Steering is in sport. It's a little heavier than normal. Suspension, though, I have it in comfortable. This is my way of creating my own Nürburgring mode, which this one doesn't have, but the Golf R did. And I found that car drove so much better on regular, crappy paved roads here in Southern California. They're not the best. They're not like a racetrack. So comfortable is the way to go. This car drives so much better than if you put it in sport. Sport, it's like, spine breaking. So, and then the drive, we put it in sport, and then we're good to go. So we've got our settings in there, we're good to go. Now, the other biggest change here is down here, there's no more lever. There's just this little sort of switchy-like thing to go between park, reverse, neutral, etc. as your engine start button. And then right here, you've got no physical volume as such. You can toggle between tracks and you can change your volume here. I tend to use the little rolly wheel on the steering wheel, and it's fine. I don't miss the physical button because of that. And then at the front here, you get a Wi-Fi charger. It's been temperamental. It won't work with the case, so even when I take it out, it doesn't work that well. So I've put a USB-C cable in there for emergencies. It's a bit of a shame, really, because it's a good location for that. In the center console, you get two decent cup holders. You've got a 12 volt and your parking brake, and a little space here for maybe the keys. Just behind that, there's a little bit of space for stuff. It's not a big car. It's not an SUV. You're not going to go camping in it, so don't expect there to be a whole lot of room. It's snug because it's meant to be. So I've said it before, I do like Audi's digital cockpit. I just noticed that a warning sign has come up. That's a weird warning sign that has happened before, and I had to look it up. Audi Presense system not working. I'm fine with that. But what you can do is you can change the view. You can put different components on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. You can scroll through consumption 15.1. Obviously been hammering it. You can also change this and put in lap times, reduce display, etc. Or you can make the maps go on there, which is a cool look. If you go view, then the maps go all the way across the screen. It looks pretty cool. You can toggle through the calls, what's playing, and then back to energy consumption. Yeah, it's just very slick. All right, so all we gotta do now is take it for a drive. I gotta get off this little off-roady section that I'm on. It's a little bumpy. It's very dusty today. Ugh. All right, so we're on the road. Let's get this thing going here. So much torque. It makes a pretty good noise too. So putting it in that individual mode with setting the dampers to the softest setting is definitely a good idea immediately. This is a smooth piece of road, but it's still a little bumpy, and I feel this is the correct setting for us here. So it's been a while since I've driven an S3, but this definitely feels a little quicker. Obviously, moderate increase in horsepower. It's now got 306, less than the Golf R, and more torque, 295 foot-pounds. It's very nice. Passing is a doddle. Watch out for some cyclists here, but passing is easy in this car. All right, so we're hitting some turns here. I love that exhaust noise. It picks up speed remarkably well. Now obviously in S mode, on the little new lever here, it holds on to revs longer, it makes sure that you're in the correct torque band, power band, whatever you want to call it. So we're scything through these twisties, and it's pretty good. Impressed so far. It's an uphill section, so kinda to the brakes. So far, I haven't had any problems with the brakes. They're pretty damn good. 14.1 inch rotors. You should expect them to be pretty good. Drop down a gear there. As I said, this is a pretty smooth stretch of road. Gives us a chance to exercise those Bridgestones. Good tires, but not the best. Really like that exhaust noise. I mean, if you're looking for a fun little compact sports sedan, I mean, this is a good way to go. I get the feeling at the helm that on the limit it does want to understeer. It doesn't have those, as I said before, those trick clutches that the R has to mitigate any of that understeer, which it did unbelievably well. I feel like this one's going to safely go into understeer. It's never going to kick the tail out. It just doesn't. And since it can only send 50% of the power to the rear wheels anyway, that's a given. It's properly quick though. This thing goes. Doesn't get upset too much with these mid-corner dips and bumps. It hangs on. I mean, it would hang on a hell of a lot better if it had some Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. I mean, I keep going on about those tires like a broken record, but they're the only ones that I would put on any car that is remotely sporty. Yeah, they're softer, they're going to wear quicker, but they're pretty damn good, and they're even pretty good in wet weather. Now, Audi stopped doing manuals a few years ago. It's kind of a shame. So if you do want a manual, you got to get a Golf R. Get it while it lasts before they die. So power on mid-bend, and it does hang on. You got to hang on to the wheel, but it does hang on pretty well, thanks to the all-wheel drive system. Super tight right-hander here. We can really see how well these Bridgestones are, and they're not complaining. This is is a fun little car for a little early morning drive. This is an impressively good little car. It was before, and they've made it better. Just subtle changes. That was a good little run we had there. We got a good chance to see how this car does in the twisty stuff. And it's extremely good. Not even 10 a.m. yet, and it's 92 degrees, so it's gonna be a hot one. All right, so what do we think? Well, if you're looking for speed, finesse, in a package that's surprisingly affordable if you go nuts with the options, this S3 is a great little car, it really is. And yeah, there's some competition out there, but I really like this little car. It's definitely an improvement over the old model, considerably, maybe a couple of design elements that I don't like, but yes, I can wholeheartedly recommend this car. Anyway, thanks for watching, appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video. Out.